Good morning, everyone. My name is Ambrose Lwalwalakon, and today I will be teaching you about possessive pronouns. First, I'm going to define it to you. Possessive pronouns, these are pronouns that show ownership or possession. I repeat, possessive pronouns. Before we begin, I would like to know how everyone is feeling today. I guess everyone is great. So let's start with a quick question. If this book belongs to me, can I say this book is mine? Yes, I can. The word mine is a possessive pronoun because it shows ownership over something, or maybe possession over something. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify and correctly use possessive pronouns such as mine, yours, is, us, ours, and theirs in a sentence. I hope everyone will participate and actively enjoy the lesson. In this lesson, we are going to focus on how language helps us show ownership in a clear and simple way. In English, we do not always repeat nouns when talking about belonging. Instead, we use special words that replace them. These words help us avoid repetition and make sentence shorter and clear. So they are very important in both speaking and writing because they show relationship between people and things. As we go through this lesson, we will look at different examples and understand how this word function in real sentence. This will help us use them correctly in your own communication. Now we are going to apply the concept through examples. I will demonstrate how the correct forms are used and you should follow carefully. Possessive pronouns are words that show ownership without repeating the noun. They help make sentence shorter and clear. So the main possessive pronouns, as I mentioned before, are mine, yours, is, us, its, ours, and theirs. So each one is used depending on who the owner is. When something belongs to me, we use mine. When it belongs to you, we use yours. For male person, we use is. And for female person, we use us. When something belongs to the group that includes me, we use ours. When it belongs to the group that does not include me, we use theirs. The word its is used for possession by animals or things. Now I would love you to focus on how each pronoun matches the correct situation. This understanding is important because it helps you avoid repetition and make your communication more and more natural. Later, we will see how these forms are used more independently in a sentence. Now, I would like you to work on your own using what you have learned so far. I want you to show your understanding by forming a correct sentences using the idea of ownership. Think of different situations in your daily life, such as objects you own, things that belong to your friends, or items in your environment. For example, this is Sarah's backpack. So your task here is to create clear and correct sentences that show who owns what. Make sure your sentences are simple, meaningful, and correctly structured. Focus on choosing the right form that expresses ownership naturally. Avoid confusion and ensure that each sentence clearly communicates the idea of belonging. As you do this, try to use different examples and avoid repeating the same idea. This will help you build flexibility in using language in real situations. Also, think about your own sentences, how they would sound in everyday conversation. So the more natural it sounds, the better your understanding of the concept. If you make a mistake, do not worry. The purpose of this activity is to practice. So focus on improving as you go. Keep your attention on clarity and the correctness and ensure such sentences clearly show ownership in simple way. Take your time to think before you speak or write. The goal is to show that you can use what you have learned in your own example without a help. Work quietly, confidently, and make sure your sentences reflect correct understanding. To conclude this lesson, let us bring together the key ideas we have focused on. We learned that ownership in English can be expressed using specific forms that replace repeated nouns and make communication more efficient. We identified the main form used to show possession. We have identified mine, we have identified yours, is, us, its, ours, and theirs. Each one is used depending on who the owner is, whether it is an individual, a group, or an object. These forms are important because they help us make sentences shorter, clearer, and more natural in both speaking and writing. Instead of repeating names or nouns, we use a single word that carries the meaning of the possession. As you continue learning, always pay attention to how these forms appear in real communication. Practice using them in your own sentence so that they become familiar and easier to apply. Keep revising and using them regularly, and you will gain confidence in expressing ownership correctly. Thank you for your attention, and well done for completing the lesson.